you doing? This is your handful mama. I am back with another video. In this video I will be showing you guys how to make homemade mini apple pies. These are the ingredients you will use if you want to make these homemade apple pies. I have here some Granny Smith apples. I have already cleaned them and peeled them. Also I have some brown sugar. I just have about half a cup of brown sugar. And then also I have some of the sugar in the raw packs. You can also get these from Walmart in a bigger container, but I had these already, so I will be using these. I have 3 packs. And then also I have some nutmeg, and I also will be using some salt, just a sprinkle of salt. So you guys, these are the ingredients. And also I have a pie shell, and I will be using this pie shell to cover the small mini pies. I will show you guys every step. So let me go ahead and get started. And also you will need some butter, and I will show you. I'll be right back. As you can see, I have cut up my medium-sized apples. I also have added in 2 tablespoons of butter. You can use butter of your choice. And I have added that in, and now they're just cooking down. So I'm just using my tongs. It's easy to use my tongs to scoop the apples around so they will start cooking down. And I have this just on like a medium heat. And as this is cooking down, water might start coming from the apples. That's fine, because that's going to help them cook down as well. You'll start getting all those juices out of the apple. So if you see that, that's fine, but make sure it's on a medium heat. While that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my ground cinnamon. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle, maybe about a half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to go in with some of my nutmeg. Just a really, really small sprinkle of the nutmeg. The nutmeg is really, really powerful. So we're just going to do just a little sprinkle. Give me just a second. I'll come back to the nutmeg. I'm going to go ahead and put in my brown sugar. I have around about a half a cup of brown sugar here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on the apples. This is not going to be a large apple pie. As I mentioned before, it's just going to be the mini apple pies. So this is how the little container looks. So I don't have a lot of apples here, so that's why we are using the small amount. Now if you want to do a large pie, something of this nature, you might want to go ahead and use about maybe 6 medium apples. So I'm going to go ahead and stir around my brown sugar, and I'm going to add in my nutmeg as well. I just have to get that opened up. You guys know it's hard to hold the camera and open at the same time. So while that is caramelizing up, I'm going to go ahead and open up that nutmeg I was telling you guys about. Actually, it was open, you guys. I just hadn't took off that little flap. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a sprinkle of that nutmeg, and just a little sprinkle, like I just did, a little shake, 1 or 2 shakes, because it's really, really powerful. Last thing I'm going to add is some salt. Same thing with the salt, just a little sprinkle to give it just a little extra taste. And then also I'm going to add some vanilla flavor. I forgot about that, you guys, so sorry about that. But vanilla flavor, you're going to need around about maybe just a half a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. So those are the ingredients. You have your cinnamon, nutmeg, the salt, and also the butter and the sugar packs that I stated before. You can pick these up at your local grocery store, the raw sugar, but you can buy it in a container. But I want to just go ahead and use the pack since I have those already in the kitchen. And the brown sugar, so make sure you add the brown sugar as well. Okay, you guys, I'm going to let this come to a boil, and these guys should be ready to get covered up in that pie crust real shortly. I will be back, my honey. Okay guys, I am back. As you can see, my apple mixture has cooked down very, very well. And now over here, only thing I have done different while I was off, I have already buttered my little pie pans. And that dough I was telling you guys about, I have started pulling it apart. And as you can see, I have already made a little round little mixture in my hand. Well, not a mixture, but some dough in my hand. And what I'm going to do, I'm forming this so I can put it in the bottom of my little mini pies. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the consistency that I want it to be. I don't want it to be real thick, but I don't want it to be real thin either, because that mixture will have to go in the middle of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here just like that. And I'm going to bring it around. I don't want it to be real thick, as I stated before, but I want to be able to put that mixture in there, and I want it to be in the middle and not seeping through the dough. So the excess, I'm going to go ahead and just tear it off just like that, because we're not going to need that excess. I'm going to put these in the oven for around about maybe 7 minutes and let these guys brown. And I wanted to let you guys see how you can save so much if you already go ahead and just have that extra dough left over from an extra large pie crust. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using my extras, so you're just going to put that in. Press it out to the consistency that you want it to be. Make sure it's all the way flattened, all the way down. And then I'm just going to tear off that excess. And the excess, if you're doing a lot of these, you guys, this will be great. That excess, you can cover your pies with that extra dough. The last thing you're going to need after you cover these with your dough on the top, you might need a little butter, melted butter, because you want to get that flaky, crispy flakiness dough on top of your apple pie. So you guys, this is how they look. I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven for about 7 minutes on 350. I'll be right back, my huns. I am back, and as you can see, I have took my little mini pie crust out of the oven. I let them bake for about 7 minutes because I want them just to get a little cooked before I put in the filling. I'm going to go ahead and start scooping in the filling into these guys. And you're probably going to end up doing at least round about, I like mine kind of full. So I want to go ahead and do at least a good, maybe 3 to 4 teaspoons. And I know my son is really going to enjoy these because he like his apple pies full. I'm going to do the same to this one over here. I'm not going to put a lot of in this one because this one is going to be for me. And I'm not going to overstuff mine like he is. But if you want it overstuffed, just go ahead and put that extra in there. And as you can see, we have plenty left over. If you have extra pies, there's plenty to make more. Let me close up these tongs. And now we're going to do the pie dough over the top of these little baby pies. And I'm just going to go ahead and just get that dough, that extra dough, and just play with it a little so I can get it covered on top of these little apple pies. We're almost done. This is really simple, really easy, very affordable. Now when you go ahead and make this dough for the top, I like mine on the thinner side for the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and just press that out as much as I can, just like that. Get it all pressed out. And then I'm going to just lay it over the top. just like this. And when I lay it over the top, I'm just going to press it around just like this to make sure it's covered all the way over that pie filling. Because as this bake, it's going to start bubbling up and you don't really want anything to lose any of your pie filling. Okay, now it is time to take off that excess. It's probably not going to be a whole lot because I pressed it out really, really good. And then I'm just going to take my little fork right here and just make some little bitty marks on here just to make it just extra pretty while it is baking. You can press it around the sides. That's going to seal in all of that goodness inside. And the last thing I'm going to do is put me just a little butter on top of this, just like a little wash. So I'm going to get that now, and I'll be right back. Okay, Hans, I am back, and the only thing I have done is poke the little holes in it, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a little butter on top of these little guys because I like to have that flakiness as I spoke about before we left off. And you can brush this on. I'm just doing just quick, simple. Just putting a little butter on each one of them. And also, as you can see, I went ahead and covered that other one as well as we was off camera. And you just want to get it on here because I want a lot of flakiness. And also, while I was off camera, I opened up my sugar and I'm just going to sprinkle it. And like I said, I'm using the brown sugar. I want mine to be really, really sweet, as well as my son's. And I'm going to sprinkle it on here. And as a reminder, you can get these in a larger container if you like. I just like to buy these so I can use them for my coffee or just a sweet treat that I want in the morning time. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do, we're going to add just a little more cinnamon. Cinnamon and sugar, you cannot go wrong. Just a little light sprinkle. That was a little too much on the side that came off, but that's okay. I'm just going to dust it off. And I'm going to get these guys in the oven. But they look so, so cute. And they're going to be so, so delicious. I'll be back when they're out of the oven. Okay, hon, I am back. The apple pies are out of the oven. These are the small apple pies, and it has that crunch on them. And I'm thinking I'm going to call it apple pie crunch. Yeah, that sounds good to me. But let me let you guys get a close-up. And I went ahead and cooked these apple mini crunch pies on 20 minutes to make sure that crust on the bottom was done as well as the top. You guys, I'm done here. This is your handful mama. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click on the notification bell. Also subscribe if you haven't. If you're returning, thank you so much. I'll see you later in the next video, my huns.